If you look at the general average points earned, Tiggleton obviously in first with 26 points, really kind of him being responsible for. But then you look at Shrimsy with 21, you look at H-Win with 20, mine with 19. I mean, they're all equally contributing to this campaign that Sonics have been able to put together.
Yeah, it's really just those 4 kills that he has above his teammates Tiggleton that give him those extra points. It's, as a full team, they are looking so strong. And this is, again, I don't know, if they get this final game another top 3, which will mean that they've only had 1 game outside of the top 3 this entire week so far, they're going to be hard pressed to get overcome unless they just have a complete failure of a week in the 2 weeks after this one. But opening plane path, awful for so many other teams. Not Sonics, though, because they're in Pachiki, so even this terrible plane path isn't going to mess their plans up too much.
Well, how did you guys like that last military island? Because let me tell you, at least on the surface here, looking like we might see another one. I do want to give a shout out. Obviously, Sonic's phenomenal performance, fantastic stuff. I want to give a shout out to Gas Cans though, because as I was mentioning going into that last game, Gas Cans have had a real kind of a hard time handling up on circles that end in other parts of Military Island other than the south part. In that game, they actually took a compound early, kind of played the opposite of the play style that I feel like they want to play and that they're built to play, but they end up getting a 3rd place for it and adding to their point total for it. So kudos to them. We'll see if they get another military circle here when this circle pops, and well, there you go. Maybe not. I don't know.
Yeah,
Cam.
This is looking, do we want to say 65-35 military mainland? It's not clear cut. The previous one was pretty, like the previous Erangel game was like 80-20 at least. This one's a little more indecisive, which does mean that the teams that are struggling to get to their northern drop positions, I'm looking at Veritas, I'm looking at ATC, I would be looking at SDK, but they're down here in Fairy Pier like they usually are on a plane path like this. It does give them a little bit of leeway on how fast they need to rotate all the way back down. But this, we could see we're very likely going to see another very complicated early, maybe even into the mid game.
Yeah, and then when you see a circle like this one, it's essentially 50-50. You add into that the additional thing of this is going to probably result in more early mid game contact, right, between a lot of these teams, because you're going to be looking at places like Prim or Fairy Pier or Sharkfin or any of these spots where the boats, the hard spawn boats, kind of turn up as places where we might see teams fighting over very early on, just because of the fact that nobody really wants to commit either way. So I would not be surprised to see, for example, STK just holding down Fairy Pier and just protecting that boat until Circle 2 does pop, and it gives them a better idea of where they might want to go.
Not just Fairy Pier, though, because we see Luke here in the gas station. This is where we said that Sonics usually like to hold down, but he's already taking point here as well. Could catch Comets on their own rotation if he wants to go loud, but the downside would be that would just draw more attention to himself, and now that he recognizes that Comets, they're just sending it through. They're just trying to send it onto Sosnovka as quickly as they can. He's going to let them go past. He's not going to try and take attacks on them at all.
Yeah, interesting decision from Comets. They're obviously throwing all of their chips into this thing is going military pile. We'll see if that gamble pays off for them. If it does, then they've got a great spot already, as it looks like they're going to be settling up around that same hillside where Sonics was. T8, meanwhile.
It's just one.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's a hilltop.
The hilltop is a hell of a great place to play. We'll see if that's where it ends up going. TAC 8 has Primors to themselves, which is they've got to be thankful for. They have been getting constantly challenged for this location on planes like that by Illusion, and Illusion this time Looks like after all the scrims were said and done, T8 did their best to hold Illusion off. So that's going to be good news for T8 going forward. Duel, meanwhile, have reconnected around the bridge, and it looks like they're going to do a little bit of campy camp here, which is not out of their realm of things that they do like to do, although they do like to switch it up just to keep everybody guessing. So we'll see if anybody bites on this.
Yeah, this is a bit wide of a spread by Duel. And SDK, they're also now all arriving here. Yeah, this is like the most solid camp that you can ask for here. And I think Sonics might be getting a little curious. He hasn't appeared on the minimap here, but he is on the big map of H-Win, just to the north of Alo. There, you can see that little blue dot just in the hills above, as well as hard shifts just a little bit further towards the west. So SDK might be in a good position to pick up a couple of kills, depending on how sort of low to the floor they want to be. That being said, SDK dropping Fairy Pier, that shouldn't be too much of a surprise to any of these teams. So it would have to be a complete lapse of judgment for either Sonics or Hard Shifts to just send a bomb into that position and not expecting them to be there.
Yeah, and Hard Shifts is sending it into Fairy Pier. They, I think, are used to SDK being there. Not so much maybe used to SDK then transitioning over to a bridge camp. Freemy Plea going to get roasted there by Weem, as T8 will pick up their first kill onto Illusion. As Illusion, they should have known. They should have known that T8 is kind of down here in Prim, but T8, instead of taking a bridge and sending it over to military, I guess, opting instead to switch over to this compound. So Illusion maybe taken a little bit by surprise here. Look at all the teams staying on the mainland, Cam. I mean, they're just hanging out on that coastline exactly like we thought they would.
I didn't expect this many, though. And I have to imagine it's strictly because of the bridge camp by SDK and Duel is either scouted or completely expected. Yeah, but even then, you'd still expect to see half on Sosnovka, half on the mainland. It's just making your way across is so difficult. It's going to deter a couple of people. Like, we've only seen Rumblers and Comets make their way across. It was only Fabled and Gas Cans on the main island originally. But over here, Illusion still trying to put the squeeze onto Tactical 8. Steezy seems to be a little bit caught out and perhaps even looking the wrong direction. Illusion might be able to take advantage of this.
Look at this. Lush is actually in the boat already. As Steezy tries to go prone, but that's not going to do it. Light Show still going to finish him off. And now the 1-1 trade has come through. A little extra grenade for good measure, just in case Steezy had somebody with him. Lush, meanwhile, I guess they're just sending him over. Maybe taking away resources here, taking away the boat. We'll see what happens here. I guess that's the insurance boat sending Lush over to the military island while the rest of the gang stays over here on the mainland. They're still not inside circle, though.
Yeah, neither of these teams are. The blue is pushing in slowly and surely. Oath sneaking up, at least Relo is. Balefrost on the other side of Milta, and Padcap Snakers are still on the end of the peninsula just across the bay from Relo. But he should be given the information. I'd be hard-pressed to see him go aggressive on this. Unless you completely give him a free opportunity here.
This is really interesting, actually, from Relo. Usually Oath, you see looting up around Milta Power. They would take whatever boat spawn they found over there by Milta Power. But this time, instead, working the mainland, and they've sent Relo all the way over to this ridge line. Balefrost is in the flat top on the southeastern part of Milta. And meanwhile, Patcaps and Snakers just now left the peninsula. So Relo really stretching out there, trying to get whatever information he can about what's going on with Duel and a possible camp there. As we check in on One Eye Open, secure around farm. They've got some friends in Zenith that may be making a blow past here, though.
A little bit quiet.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit. A couple of shots back and forth. Xena taking a little bit of damage. Punage dropped down to about 70 HP, 65 perhaps. As the circle closes in. Where are we going to go? It's going to be on the mainland. It's going to be right on top of Veritas, and they are loving this. Immediately, we're seeing the rotations by ATC, even by the Sonics, I have to imagine, and especially by the teams on Sosnovka. They are groaning at a shift like this, but they knew that there was always going to be that possibility. And so there it is, the rush of vehicles from the Milta area And Veritas have a really good spot to try and hold down, and they could pick up a fair number of kills despite how early in the game it is.
That is why, chat. That is why we see these teams hang out on that coastline, not committing to send it over. And we saw a similar thing happen, I believe it was in Challenger Cup, where a lot of teams sent it over on a million. Basically, nobody was hanging out on the coastline. So experience really showing here now as Zenith will lose Punich to Lampalot. Not going to get the flush just yet. Looks like they should be able to get this res, but as you said, a lot of teams now converging right on top of each other.
Veritas must not have had that angle, because it was difficult opening that door for Shimbor to crawl through. But Zenith are going to group up in that building, get the revive, stay as 4. But there's a lot of rotations happening around this area. A couple of teams are going to make the big wide wrap over towards the north side. STK are doing a bit of a cut in between, not exactly straight towards center, but not exactly one out back into the blue that we see teams like Illusion as well as potentially Hardships or Fabled do.
Doing a little scouting, maybe deciding if they want to post up around that Death Road location. We'll see what Luke can spot out. Looks like he's looking down in the compound. Doesn't see any vehicles. Doesn't see any heads. So William may have company here if he's not careful. We'll check and see later as we see Oath doing the same thing up in the northeastern part of the map over by Shelter, working their way towards the very western edge, or eastern edge rather, of Death Road. ATC already has kind of posted up in a 2-2 split along that ridge line. Does not look like they have been spotted out just yet, though.
I usually hate the position that Oath are going towards, but the shift like this, a phase 2, phase 1 relationship is actually not that bad. Tactical A tried to send it in. Fabled somehow got there first. And Fabled had to make their way from Military Island, so a great pickup here by Greg Shot. Hop into the vehicle, join up with Rip, and group up with the rest. No, sorry, they're actually holding down point with the rest of the squad to group up with them. East of the Pachinki Fields, and Gas Cans also make their way across, Rumblers as well. So all these teams on Military able to make their way across the bridge without too much of a worry. I'm saying that, you know, Gas Cans, if they have an opportunity for a fight in the early game, they're going to try and take it. See if the Rumblers give them that opportunity.
Looks like they're content to just watch the Rumblers keep pushing forward here, although Los might have spotted them out. Meanwhile, in the kill feed, you can see Hardships and STK have run into each other, and now William's got a buddy. But again, STK losing one early in these transitions. These circles just have not been going in their favor. We were talking a little bit about it during the break. It just, you kind of want to see them maybe stick together. They've been doing this thing where they spread out and they try to gain as much information as possible. And, you know, that's worked so well for them in the past. And this time it's not working out so well. So this time it looks like STK going to stick together. They'll find William. William will find Alo. He gets the flush as well. Oh, no. But then Kurt will flush him out. But, STK again paying the price early. As the circle does shift, and look at that, they're right in the dead center.
Luke is kicking himself because he had that free opportunity that we saw on the stairwell. Because of that, he loses a second teammate. At least they're alive for now. And this is not a bad position in the circle. In fact, it's dead center, but they only have 2 players to try and hold it down. But it's a big shift, hard shift, a second one in a row. It's in a different direction, but it's still going to catch a lot of these teams off guard. And now back going closer towards the Sonics.
Sonics.
Home base. Gas Cans continue to make their rotate in. The fight between them and Rumblers did not pop off, and so they're going to be driving along the coastline, come in from the south side that the duel you can actually see are ahead of them on that front.
We'll see where Gas Cans decide to go. Duel, as you said, already taken, looks like they're going to take the compound just on the roadside. We'll see if Gas Cans decides to push right into it. It looks like they're being a little bit more on the safe side, though, as they take a look at this new compound. We haven't got a name for this yet, Cam. What do you want to call it?
We don't. Oh, me? On the spot?
Yeah, on the spot, man. It's all on you. What are we calling it?
Compound.
Camp. So arrogant. Just so
Yay,
arrogant. All right.
And you gotta take all the opportunities that you can get. Because the Honey Badger hasn't taken that opportunity. He's gonna wait for the lineup, but I think Linksy spotted him out and said, oh, nope, apparently not. He's taking jumps like that. There it is. That's the opportunity he is waiting for, and there it is. Okay, it took a while, but it's fine. We got there in the end. Linksy does get dropped with the double shot from Oldless and Honey Badger. Now Duel are suddenly scattering to try and find a return onto this.
Oh!
Oh, and a second one from Honey onto Penta, and the rest of Gas Cans, Boxic, and Iku's up on the full push.
Wooly trying to make his way around the outside. He gets spotted instantly, knocked down to about 50% HP. See these kills get flushed out. Wooly goes down as well to a nice grenade from Badger, and Gas Cans are just mowing down Duel. Cherry, the last one up, the raid boss himself. He's going to drop the Molotovs, make sure nobody pushes him from the window, try to reset a little bit, see if he can maybe spot them out, see where they're trying to push him from, but Gas Cans are swarming like a bunch of angry ants right now. They want to finish this off.
Dodge have a little bit of an angle onto this, I think, and that's keeping Gas Cans from being able to rotate, wrap around the north side. Yeah, you see a couple of shots come in from that direction, make them a little uncomfortable. Cherry dropped so many smokes. He's finding an opportunity to bail out. Can he get away fast enough? Can his car build up enough speed? Too much damage under 39 HP. Where can he send it to?
I don't know if sending it back to the road. He's actually going to get away. The car does catch on fire, though. He's going to have to pull away, and he's going to find himself a nice little dip. Unfortunately, the card gods decide not to flip that thing right on top of him. Meanwhile, Rumblers have come up onto Death Road. They found ATC, and they've eaten ATC. They are done. Zenith, just downhill, has also taken some damage here. Waldo is down, bleeding out. We can see Roth coming in with a nice flank from the low ground. We'll have to see if Rumblers can snip this one out before he gets on top of them. Looks like they are looking for it. They know that Zenith is there, but everything has slowed down for the time being. Waldo does get rezzed. He does get the heal off, and it looks like this fight is reset.
Just a little bit. They're going to have to move fast because the blue is about to start coming in, and it was a second hard shift in a row towards the west side, away from this position.
Ooh!
McCory runs right on top of a great grenade thrown out by Shinboy. That's going to slow down the Rumblers' maneuvers, but they're trying to go on the retreat. They don't want this fight because of that hard shift. They're going to have to leave McCoy behind in order to do so, but Delta, he spots this out. He could be lying in wait. He could pick it up if Rumblers aren't careful.
Solo player. We've seen Snakes do more damage in the passes. He's going to find Waldo. Can he get two? Can he get the other? McCoy's still bleeding out. Delta actually going to... Oh, no, he didn't flush him out. Okay, he's trying to save his life right now. The shot's coming through. Not going to land from Lowe's. Delta causing so many problems here. They finally finish him off. But does Rumblers have time to even go for this res onto Waldo? Zenith heard the shots. And no, Waldo, I think, is just going to get left behind. Yep, Delta is going to get the kill, and Gaxi goes down as well. It's just down to Los as Rumblers, oh no, just get picked apart there on Death Road.
It was going to be a hard run going into Veritas, but Delta made it even more difficult. Now Zenith going to take the fight towards Veritas. This could give Los a little bit of breathing room to try and push in himself, but he's still stuck out in the blue. A long run from him, as well as all these teams on the eastern side still. A good knock on a Jazza, a good finish on a Jazza by Roth is going to open up a small possibility for Zenith. They have the vehicles, though. They might just want to make the call to send it past them to try and get into the circle, because the blue is really going to start to pick up damage at this next circle close.
Los going to take a few shots in, parting at the backside of Zenith as they make their way away. Roth will get knocked low, but not out. As Zenith will try to... It looks like they're actually going to try to put themselves in a position to maybe do a little gatekeeping on Veritas if they can, but a few shots from STK and Oath might change their minds here. Veritas on foot, making their way over Potato Mountain. They have hard shifts and Illusion waiting for them at the top, though, so a lot of potential fights breaking out on this eastern edge, Cam.
Yeah, and there's not a lot of area to play around with. It's barely rolling hills, not a lot of cover for teams that are trying to establish control on. That's why we see Kickstart going out. But hard shifts not just on Zenith, also spotting out Illusion. Small push from Icy Flex and Light Show. The grenades come in, and they're going to back up just in time to avoid getting knocked themselves.
Nobody from hard shifts looking in the backside, though. There's nobody looking in the eastern direction as Veritas starts to make their way up. Fortunately for them, Kurt going to take a few shots in their back, and actually Zenith will get finished off there by a combination of Oath and hard shifts. Veritas still sneaking, Haven't opened fire just yet. But you can see nobody on hard shifts. All those little triangles, all those Doritos looking off to the west. Nobody. J-Sank now finally looking back towards the east to see if anybody's sneaking up behind him.
Center shift, still a little bit towards the west side.
What a circle.
Still going to be uncomfortable for a lot of the teams here. Gas cans still also trying to get into the circle. Honey Badger does get picked up. They're able to stay as 4. They're getting shot from multiple angles. Oldless does go down because the vehicle rolls away. That was his cover. He was relying on it.
Oh, boy. Well, you thought it was going to happen, and look at that. It did happen. Veritas sneaks up right behind hard shifts. They don't even see him. Instantly lose 2. It's down to Chubba, and he has been spotted out by Michael. He's also been spotted out by Illusion. His show will finish him off. Now, the question for Illusion, we're outside a circle. We know Veritas is right there. Do we want to engage on this, or do we want to reposition? Looks like Illusion just going to go ahead and try to find their way inside circle. Meanwhile, we haven't talked about it yet because it hasn't been worth bringing up, but Fabled has the compound, the houses just off to the east side of Pachinki, and they are just vibing right now. They have nobody anywhere near them. They are dead center of the circle. This could be one of those weird games, Cam, where you get the weird circles where a team that's kind of sitting lower in the leaderboard just gets a little bit lucky and they end up getting some points off of it.
They can maintain it. See if Sonics keep their top 3 dreams alive for yet another game in a row. Mime does go down though by Honey Badger. That's gonna be a big stall by Sonics. In fact, they're just running away. They realize that with a circle coming in as it is, but they needed that opening knock by Mime in order to make something happen there. So instead, they're gonna pull away and try and get to the circle themselves. But shoot to kill, trying to deal some damage onto Oath. 4 kills for them, 2 apiece for Purdy and Luke. But they need to get into the circle. And again, there's not much area for them to try and manage around here. Not only that, they're going to be pressed by Veritas from above.
Oof. There you go. Sonic's going to flush out and finish off the gas cans. Luke 12 and Kurt, I think they know that D-Treats is up there. They know that Sonics is there. They're trying to do everything they can to collect as many points. But, I mean, imagine what STK could do with this if they still had 4 up and they're just running around the eastern part of this circle.
He wants those points.
Kurt actually going to run in here, and he's going to pay the price. No! D-Treats just instantly finishes him off. And I don't know if they just didn't know D-Treats was there or what, but Kurt just runs instantly to his death, leaving Luke 12 by himself, as now Sonics is getting picked apart here by Relo.
Oath spotting that it's Sonics might put them even more aggressive onto this position because they know they need to go big in this game in order to try and close that gap against Sonics. And now they're only down to 2. Pat gets caught out. They open by H-Win. That's a free one. You'll take that any day of the week.
Pat gets flushed out, and now Oath down to 3. They have Snakers looking at Luke 12 right now. They'd love to finish him off. Shot's going to come out, not going to land. Snakers will find. Oh my God. Okay. The headshot with the last shot will do it. And that is going to do it once again for STK, although they do manage to make it into the top 8, so they do get a placement point off of it. But now Oath can turn their attention towards Sonics. As we see the circle has popped. Shrimsy gets go down as Oath just cleaning up right now. 7 kills for them.
Yeah. They haven't been able to manage a lot of control in this area, but they've been cleaning up the teams that have come their way where they have been able to. And now there's
going on? Illusion
so
and Fabled.
much space to play around with. They can take out an H-Win. They can just control this eastern side of the circle and let all these teams in the compounds take care of each other. This might look like a repeat of what we saw at the end of the previous Erangel game. But Illusion pushing down onto the compound held by Fabled. We saw them retreat from the Veritas standoff just previously, but Xene make it difficult for Top Dog, but a great angle held by Show.
Ooh, Leda actually going to give some support there for Fabled from range. His light show gets taken low, and that's going to be enough for Hella to finish him off, and Illusion's push gets held. Fabled now 4 kills. They'll get 4 back up, and they were vibing once before, and they are vibing once again, holding down this compound all by themselves. Dodge, meanwhile, playing the trenches. They have a pretty decent position here. As I think Comets, I believe Comets are 4 deep in the sniper tower right now, Cam. They are
it's
so
getting cold
comfy.
in the winter. Mid-November.
It is. Well, they are quite comfy in their sniper tower position here, and they're actually being comfy enough to pick off H-Win. That's going to be Sonic's going down in 6th place. Oh, Sonic's falling apart now. They haven't finished top 3 for the first time today.
Wow, yeah, that's going to be heartbreaking for them. I don't know how they're going to get over that tilt.
However, will they manage to
However, will they
overcome
recover?
this?
That's what is that? What is that GIF of the Chappelle Show wiping his eyes with dollar bills? I think that's right now.
And they're doing a little Woody Harrelson there.
But it was Woody Harrelson. Sorry.
No, that's fine.
But either way, Oath now. They see Sonic's going out. This is the opportunity that they want to put themselves in a contending position at the end of the first week. They want to go big here, and they certainly can because we know how strong these players are, and we also know how little control these teams outside of Oath have, but that's not a great start. He gets away with just a little bit of his HP hanging on from that peak. And that shift, it's actually quite helpful to Oath, I think. They don't have a lot of land in that they can play off of, but I mean, Dodge, Comets, Lush from T8, they don't have a lot of space to play around with either.
Yeah, this is, this is one of those weird ones, man. Circle 7 pops and there's only 15 alive. So, you have that additional added stress now that you've gotten to this point. You want to try to get as many placement points as you can, especially if you're not sitting on a whole lot of kills like Dodge right now, 0. We see Lush there for T8 managed to snake his way in to right behind Comets. We'll see if he does any damage to him. Oh my God! Somebody just got yeeted across the trench there. I think it might have been Danny. I'm not sure if it was the grenade that did it or if he just jumped. But this is a good smoke wall set up by Comets, and they're actually encroaching on Dodge territory really, really well right now.
Oh, Danny G finds 1 knock, but he was hoping for a lot more because now Comets are at his doorstep. He's running up back on the high ground, trying to take a 1v1 with Vegas. He's able to find this. It could be huge. He's going for the flush, but that gives his position away. Later also goes down. Adam is holding the line. Monty down as well.
Vegas still alive, though. He does manage to flush out Danny and stay alive for the time being for Comets. Lamp and Adam, though, I think they have a good idea of where he is. Meanwhile, Lush still here. Has not gotten involved just yet, but he could strike at any time. He's going to use whatever's left of those smoke clouds. God, that man knows how to prone. Holy moly. Dodge still looking to see if they can spot out Vegas. Looks like they may have lost sight now, but the blue has arrived. Vegas finds Lush. That's going to be it for him. Trading shots back and forth. Lamp-a-Lot with the hard cover. Vegas has the blue on him. Almost wins it, but Lamp lands that last headshot, and all of this is going on. Oath gets the crash into the trenches just off to the north of Dodge.
Yeah, unable to really use the high ground anymore. No cover up there. They would have been torn to shreds by Fabled, and so they take the opportunity to get on down to the low ground, down to the dirt with everyone else in the game, and the shift does also come their direction. This does mean, though, they need to put some resources on holding off the push from Fabled from the north side. Oath, 3 up, 7 kills for them, and they're going to have to contend with multiple teams pushing onto their position.
7 kills in the bag. We'll see what they can do about Fabled and Dodge. Adam and Lamp-a-Lot just hanging out on the edge of the circle right now. It doesn't look like they're overly interested in doing anything other than surviving for the time being. Fabled, meanwhile, using this opportunity to start making their way out. Haxetti and Gregshot. Gregshot has gotten to cover. Haxetti working the hedgerows. Has not been spotted out just yet. Some good cover fire being laid down by Hella and Rip, making sure that Oath can't overpeak this. And Haxetti going to get right into grenade range. Wants to see if he can spot him out first. He does spot Bale. That's going to be the initial down. Another grenade going to come through for the flush. Snakers going to try to see if he can maybe push him away. But shots come through from Haxetti. Finds another one. And that's 2 down for Oath as Fabled coming alive in the late game.
They had 0 delay on the push out from those barns, and that likely could have caught Oath off guard. And now the backstab comes through. Oath are eliminated in 3rd place, and Fabled have their position. It's just Dodge remaining, and if Fabled were paying attention to anything this game, they should know that it's going to be a 4 versus 2. Lamp and Adam, both players that have gone huge before, but it doesn't matter. In the blink of an eye, Fabled are going to get the victory with 8 kills.
Well, Cam, it wouldn't be week 1 of the grand finals if we didn't have Fabled